Sha'rin from Smitten Kittens. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about cosplay, crafting, and cute stuff. So sa video ito, we're actually gonna be talking about packaging costs. So this is a video mostly for online sellers. Usually when I buy online, kahit like 100-ish lang yung item, I receive it in a nice packaging. It's in a nice box. May presentation ng bongga, and then we have freebies and stuff. So as a buyer, I love it. Like, I love the experience. But as a seller, I can't help but think, magkano yung ginastos ng seller na to in packaging this item? And hindi kaya nalulugi sila? Because usually I see that a lot in people who sell handmade items or who are artists, na they really put their effort into packaging. And then I can't help but think, do they actually calculate this packaging? Do they not think na this packaging costs eats away at their profit? Kasi as I said in my previous video, pricing handmade items, usually us artists really don't like to think of the math, the numbers. And in business, if we're trying to make a living, the numbers is actually what matters. So in today's video, you're actually going to package items with me. Yay! And while we're packaging, I'm gonna show you the packaging materials I use. And then we're gonna do a costing at the end so you can see magkano yung nagastos ko for packaging. So if you're interested and if you'd like to learn a little more about this topic, please keep watching.
So these are the items we'll be packaging today. These are all items from my Shopee store. And you can find my Shopee link in the description box down below or in the captions. Now, I find that when it comes to packaging, there's kind of two schools to it. Some people like really nice packaging, boxes, custom names, writing thank you notes and everything. And others just have basic, very plain packaging that just protect the item. What I like to prefer is a balance of both. Syempre, pinaka-importante when packaging is that we protect the item. And then secondary na for me yung impact. I don't want it to be sobrang magarbo, but I just want it to be presentable. So here are some boxes. These are plain white boxes that I also order from Shopee. I order them by the 20s, so the costing of how much each box is will be on your screen. So I use a box when it comes to packaging my items that are more prone to breakage. But if the item is relatively flat and halos di naman madadamage, I might not use a box because dagdag lang siya sa costing when it comes to packaging. Boxes are usually the most expensive part of any packaging, so if hindi naman sirain yung ipapadala nyo, you might want to skip out on a box and just use bubble wrap instead. So here I'm just folding the creases of this box to assemble it. You might notice when you shop online, usually there would be two similar items, but one would be more expensive and one would be cheaper. The cheaper item would usually have cheap packaging or basic packaging lang, usually naka-bubble wrap lang. And then the more expensive item, same item, would have nicer packaging. So yung packaging cost, ini-include lang ng seller dun sa item cost. Now here's our assembled box. You can see it fits our item exactly. Some sellers like to use corrugated boxes because these aren't as thick as those. But my items, hindi naman sila masyadong breakable, so these are fine. If your items are like liquid, glass, or babasagin, you may want to buy corrugated boxes instead. Now that we've broken down the cost of our box, let's go to the cost of paper items like the backing board here and even the seal pouch that I use to put my items in. So I put everything in a plastic pouch like here and I buy them by the hundreds. You can see the size over there. This is a self-sealing pouch or OPP pouch. You can see it here, and then the costing kung magkano ko siya nabili will also be on your screen. You can buy these everywhere they sell packaging supplies and even where they sell craft supplies. Next, we have the backing boards for my products. So, and calculate the cost of all printed materials na kasama sa items ko. These include the packing boards, calling cards, care cards, or whatever you put into it. I print my own. Others like to get it professionally done, but since may printer naman ako sa bahay, I just print my own. I also print them in multiple sizes, so they're bigger ones for bigger items that need a bigger board behind them. Now here are some thank you cards. They have some care instructions, what to do when you receive the order, etc. And I put these with orders just so buyers can see them. These are printed so kasya sila dun sa size ng plastic pouch, ng clear plastic earlier. The cost to print all these, kasama rin siya sa product costing, and yung total na nagastos ko sa kanya would be on your screen. I print it myself and I buy the board by the hundreds para mas nakakatipid ako. At the left side of the screen, you should see a tally of how much na yung nagastos ko in packaging these items so far. So, if you're selling these items tas mababa lang yung benta nyo, yan na yung nalulugi nyo at the side if you don't add that packaging cost to your item cost. And this isn't even the end of packaging because we haven't gotten to the plastic pouches and our waybills. I print my own cards, all my paper items for my items because I have a printer and mas tipid siya. I don't try to get it professionally done because if we're being honest, as a buyer then we don't really keep these cards. I never keep these cards from sellers. Usually tinatapon lang sila, so hindi ko na sila pinagkakagastusan masyado. Now, this is some bubble wrap. This is another way I save on packaging. I never actually buy bubble wrap. All of these is from orders ko din online. I take the bubble wrap and I cut it and I save it for myself and I use it to package my items pag ako naman yung magpapadala sa kanila. So here, my cost for this bubble wrap is basically zero because it's all recycled. And I'm just gonna be wrapping my item with the bubble wrap for extra protection. If you're looking for a more eco-friendly alternative to bubble wrap, some people use honeycomb wrap, although it's a bit more expensive. Or you can shred some paper and use paper fillers. But as for me, madami naman akong bubble wrap that I get from other sellers, so I might as well use them or reuse them. And here's our item so far in the box. Now, let's move on to freebies. Buyers really like when there are freebies. But as for me, I don't want to give freebies that are just trash. And I don't want to give freebies that will cost me either. So here are the freebies I usually give with my items. These are hairpins. Because usually my buyers are girls and they buy accessories. So this kind of complements what they buy. These are made from yung mga natira kong resin. Whenever I make a cast, tas may matirang resin, I'm just gonna pour them into a mold. And then you have these freebies. Now, it still costs me to make these because I buy the blanks for the hairpin base and then there's the packaging. So the cost to make these freebies will be on your screen. Now, if you're a buyer, spoiler alert, freebies are never really free. Usually, people, brands, companies, sellers already build them into their product pricing. Even big companies, the ones that do makeup, soaps, laundry detergent, they have the freebies costed into their production cost or into their prices. Now, remember, as a seller, you're not really required to give freebies. It's your choice. And usually for those who give freebies, they really account it into their costing. If yung price mo is tapat na, wala ka nang kita, tapos magbibigay ka pa ng freebies, wala na, talo na. So you're not required to do it. Now we're just gonna seal this box. I use these circle sticker tapes just cause madali silang gamitin and I also happen to have them, so that's what we're using. Washi tapes, packaging tape, anything is fine. And there you go, that's our sealed item. Now we're going to move into stuff that's for the shipping. So that includes the waybill and the shipping pouches. For my waybill, I buy these A6 sticker papers. The price per piece per pack will be in the captions down below. These are water resistant, so I like them. But you can just print them on regular paper, tapos when you stick it onto your shipping pouch, takpan mo or dikitan mo ng packaging, clear packaging tape, so it becomes waterproof. But this is the one I use, it's just because it's convenient for me. And then I print my waybills on them. I have to block the details, so yeah, you get the idea. If you really want to sell for seriously, it's a good investment to have a printer. I print my waybills with them and I print my business cards and stuff. Now we're almost at the end because now I'm bringing out the shipping pouches. So before, yung couriers ng Shopee would give free pouches, but nowadays, hindi na libre. Wala nang libre. So yung waybill, tsaka yung packaging pouch, sagot pa din ng seller. So kasama yun dapat sa packaging costs mo because you spend this amount for every order that you send out. I buy pouches by the hundreds and you can see the cost there on the screen. So, pag Shopee Express, they accept anything basta it's a plain color and I'm just gonna be sticking my waybills here. And then our box goes inside and we can finally seal the pouch. Now that we've packaged everything, let's compute what we've spent so far for everything. For boxes, bubble wrap, thank you cards or backing cards or even business cards, self-sealing plastic, craft sticker, waybill paper, your shipping pouch, and finally the cost for your freebies. Finally, the total cost of everything will be on your screen. So when all is said and done, yan yung packaging cost. Yan yung nagastos ko to package and ship out my item.
So in Shopee, we don't get to choose our shipping fee because they designate the shipping fee. Sila yung bahala dyan. It depends on the item weight. So what we do is we actually build in that packaging cost into our product cost. Because if you don't build that in, you absorb that cost. You absorb that packaging cost. So minsan people price their items too low and then they don't do their packaging costing and they don't realize na yung packaging cost, apart from other costs, are eating away at that profit. So that means yung effort nila is not really worth it because you're not earning much. So you have to adjust your pricing accordingly depending on how much packaging cost is. But at the end of the day, what matters the most is you actually cost it out and figure out how much it is. Because this was also my mistake when I was starting out. I didn't know how much it was and I still see a lot of sellers do that. Mura lang yung item nila but sobrang ganda ng packaging. So, as a seller, kino-compute ko yun and I think like, ang liit ng kita nila because they're spending it all on packaging. So yun. Eventually, what matters at the end of the day is you do it, you do your cost, you do the math, so you figure out if nalulugi ka ba ng packaging or hindi. So I hope this video helped you figure out how to do it yourself. I know like as handmade artists or artists, we're kind of like allergic to math. But if you're trying to make a living, it's important that you do it. Let me know in the comment your thoughts if you're team nice packaging, if you're team basic packaging, or if this video helped you realize that you're actually spending more on packaging than you should. I hope I was able to help you out, and I hope packaging with me helped you figure out what you want to do for your own packaging and how much you want to spend on it. So this is Xarin. I make videos about cosplay, crafting, cute stuff, and occasionally I talk about online seller stuff. If you're interested in more videos like this, please feel free to send in a request or comment, and I'll get back to it. And also, please feel free to follow my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting!